Assalamualaikum. Previously, we were getting to know some basic instructions on how to provide first aid and learning how important it is, as it may save anyone's life who's critically injured and can be provided aid by a layman that is aware of the process. So, in case the hospital is not nearby or a medical professional is not nearby, that layman or that common person can easily just help the victim to get first aid. So now, even if we know some basic first aid steps, such as how to treat cuts and scrapes, as we previously went through the whole procedures and the whole 5 steps, even though a person may know the basic step, there are still some accessories or there's some still instruments required, and those instruments and things are often present in the first aid kit. Now, first aid kits are often available at schools or at our houses because family or staff or instructors there already keep it in case it is needed immediately at the hands of an emergency. So every office, factory, home, and school should have an accessible first aid box with the following recommended basic contents. So it is very advisable and very recommendable or either necessary for a home and a school to have a first aid kit. First aid book clearly explains how to handle the basic problems. So in case the person didn't ever got to know about first aid, they can go through the instructions in the book and can easily guide themselves on how to provide first aid before using the instruments or things present in the first aid kit. Band-aids. Plasters. Band-aids or sticking plasters are good for dressing small wounds. They come in all shapes and sizes for fingers, legs, and anywhere. So the most important thing a first aid kit should always have is a band-aid. It is compulsory as oftentimes people casually get cuts and the immediate help for it is provided through band-aids. And band-aids are available in all sizes and shapes, and they can cover up any part of the body where the cut is or where the injury is. Make sure the band-aid is big enough to cover the wound. If not, you should use dressing instead. So if it's a small injury and you can cover up the place of cut or the origin of cut easily, you should use the band-aids. If not, then you should immediately refer to plasters or refer to dressings. Elastic bandages. The elastic bandages are good for wrapping sprained joints or making a sling in the case of a broken arm. So in case a person fell over or had a very serious injury in school while they were playing or at home where they fell from a certain not a very high place but from a small height and that ended up in a broken joint or a sprained joint or a broken arm, you can fix it using elastic bandages. So elastic bandages should also be mandatorily present in the first aid kit. So for now, we know that our first aid kit should contain a first aid book where all the instructions are available, band-aids that are very helpful for cuts and wounds, elastic bandages that will be very helpful to treat sprained joints and broken arms, etc. So for now, we got done with how important first aid is and how easy it is for a common person to learn first aid. When we got to know how to treat some basic cuts and scrapes, and then of what should be the things present in a first aid kit. That included a first aid book, band-aids, and elastic bandages. So these were the three. The fourth, fifth, and from then onward include gauze and adhesives, antiseptic wipes, alcohol swabs and cotton wool, safety pins and tweezers, and many others such as latex gloves, calamine lotion, clinical thermometer, analgesic tablets, etc. So we will be continuing on in the next video from the fourth thing, that is gauze and adhesive tape.